It is safe to say that DBT13 is actually a very huge booster for overdress format in general, because every single deck that did get support in that booster do see a boost in the performance in one way or another. Not every deck did get a good support, but all of the deck did see a boost in the performance. Even the forgotten archetype like hero actually get a very strong and viable support. That's how good DBT13 is. And this is no different for our main character right line that is also a punching bag for Bushiroad game design, Nirvana. Jiwa in particular, and in my honest opinion, Jiwa has been a very sad archetype in the sense that it has faced some of the most overwhelming style of game design in terms of power, and it also faced some of the most underwhelming game design in terms of resource. I would have to say the brand new support for Jiwa is actually extremely viable. If you see Nirvana result in the top 16 or in the tournament a lot, there's a reason why the deck is being played a lot right now. But there is also a looming problem that I feel it is present in other archetypes, but I do feel that Jiwa does have this problem in a larger scale, especially if you're considering this particular brand new support. So let's start off with Jiwa. Jiwa gets 4 brand new prayer dragon, which also are a part of its own archetype, blessing heavily. And in my honest opinion, these are some of the very balanced group of sub-archetype for the prayer dragon, which actually is very scary. We have Aparagia that help you to search for any prayer dragon, and also workable as an additional draw and also defensive play for your crossover dress while giving the crossover dress unit a resist. Then you have cards like Nandika and Kamodak, which actually work extremely well the deck offensive while giving a guard restrict and additional power boost. And it's a little bit sad for Garo though, because Nandika literally just make Garo completely irrelevant. And last but not least, we have Grahas, which does help you to search out for all these other 3 dragons via from deck or from drop zone. These cards in general just make the filtering of the deck so much better, and we still have to consider some of the prayer dragon that actually help in filtering the deck, like Stragaleo and Kirumiller as well, which are most likely the 2 other prayer dragon you still play in your deck, as these 4 new prayer dragon cards kind of invalidate almost every other prayer dragon that has been released up to date. Then we have Stravairina, which is just fantastic. Yes, the card does require more material to actually crossover dress into, but the reward that the card does give to the player is actually huge. Not only it gives additional 10k to both Vanguard and itself, and stackable if you have True Obstra on the field, you also give your Vanguard additional drive by changing it from twin drive into triple drive, which is actually pretty damn good, especially you consider how aggressive crossover dress can get, especially if you're considering Drag Veda is in the play as well. And not only that, Stra also has ability to stand all of the talisman or prayer dragon if it was stand by Vanguard effects. This means that at the cost of 2 counterblasts, you are getting 2 additional full burst swing from just Stra effect alone. And not only that, Stra also got additional skill which help you to retire your opponent whole board and burn away all the markers in case you're up against a specific deck that does play around this mechanic. So overall, I would have to say Stra is an extremely powerful support despite it demanding more resource from Nirvana in general. But there is a problem with this new set of support, and that is the fact that Stravairina became a brand new card that Jiwa is extremely codependent on, and if you cannot get a Stra out or Stra was destroyed by either battle or card effects, the deck cannot play at all. And remember the other problem I want to talk about in this video? I already mentioned a little bit of it earlier, but it is the fact that this new support kind of invalidates 60 to 80% of every other Jiwa support that has been released since DBT06. As right now, there are only 3 cards that you are most likely running in your crossover race deck to actually play Stra variant, and that is Stragaleo, just to help to search out Trickstar if needed, Kirumiller, that just help you to search for additional Verena, include the Stra, and of course Mirrors, which essentially help you to counter charge, give you an additional draw, and also work as a target for Drahas, as you do need to retire 1 Reka for Drahas skill, which does traded it into 1 draw as well. And as you can see, yes, the support is great, but the fact that it ignores almost almost every other support that it has been given over the years just make me feel like Jiwa was a really sloppily supported archetype. I mean, like, I can safely say Nirvana is like a red eyes of Vanguard, as the support that they get so far tends to give some new option for the deck to play, but it is not a proper solution for the deck overall. And that's how I feel with the brand new support. And this is not the only instances the Bushiroad has done this. We have seen things with Stuarts and then Freiheit, and a good number of other archetypes eventually has to take out some of the weaker version of the support to replace for the stronger one. This sounds like a bad problem at first, but I have to highlight this in Nirvana because for this archetype in specific, it invalidates almost everything. That is not how you design a card. You invalidate one or two cards is fine. Like, it is power creep, you know, it is Vanguard, it is TCG. Power creep will always be there regardless of what game you're playing. But when you literally obliterate 60 to 80% of the older supports, that's make you raise an eyebrow sometimes. But regardless, it is still a great support for Jiwa nonetheless. But what do you guys think? Do leave down in the comments below on what you think about Jiwa and how Bushiroad sometimes just obliterate almost half of the older version of the deck just to give us a newer support. And yeah, that's all I have for today, guys. Take care of yourself, and this is McMegane signing out.